Now at 6, the James River Church prepares a turkey basket for local families in need ahead of Thanksgiving. Plus, Calypso Scuba hosts an underwater turkey shoot event with a non-traditional turkey dinner. And the Quapaw High School FBLA holds a craft fair in support of local crafters.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. This is your KOAM News at 6. I'm Jalen Banks. A local church is trying its best to make sure the community of Joplin has a great Thanksgiving, and KOAM's Amber Jenkins has more.
James River Church in Joplin is passing out turkey baskets for families in need. This event is a part of a series of events the church is hosting to bless others.
It's a part of our season of giving here at James River Church, where we're building over 1,900 Thanksgiving baskets to bless families in need this Thanksgiving season.
The donations of food and supplies came from the helpful hands of the congregations.
So a couple of weeks ago, we had a season of giving offering where the people at James River gave an offering for things like this. And so we're able to provide these meals through the generosity of the people at James River Church.
James River Church values helping the community and passing on blessings.
Really, it's a way to come alongside individuals and families in need in a time that is very difficult on many with inflation and things that are happening, to be able to come and give them a hand up to say ultimately though that God loves you, God sees you, which is why we do what we do.
Reporting in Joplin, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
James River Church in Springfield is also giving out turkey baskets to those in need. Calypso Scuba held their annual underwater turkey shoot. The event is to celebrate Thanksgiving, but also give the divers another event and time to bond during the cold months of the year.
Diving is beyond fun, and divers are some of the kindest, most compassionate people in society. They're very much aware of themselves, of their dive buddies and their friends and the environment, and I think that they're just compassionate enough that they're like, yeah, let's do this.
This was the 22nd annual event. And now we move on to weather. Chris, what do you have for us?
Well, it was a chilly day today, but it was warmer than what we have seen the past couple of days. In fact, we made it up to 42 after starting at 19 degrees. So it got downright cold last night. However, as you can see, our average low not that far off from where we were for a high today. And you can see our average high considerably warmer than where we were. But we are going to start to warm up as time goes on, which is some good news. Right now, though, we got 32 Pittsburgh, 31 Parsons and Chanute, 30 in Nevada, Lamar and Carthage, 36 in Neosho, a little warmer in Anderson at 41 degrees, and 32 in Joplin. And even though it's a light breeze, it is causing a bit of a wind chill. 21 Iola, 25 Fort Scott, feels like 24 Webb City, and 23 in Carthage. Skywatch Storm Tracker is clear on our level, and of course they've been dealing with the blizzard situation up in the Northeast. Still a number of winter weather warnings and watches associated with that. For us, no winter weather immediate. We'll stay clear through the night, 24 by 11, 23 at 7 a.m., 32 by 10 a.m. We're going to reach a low tonight of 22 degrees. We do have some warmer weather on the way, though. We're going to talk about that and some rain chances next week here in just a few minutes. Jalen?
The Quapaw High School Future Business Leaders held their craft show this afternoon. The proceeds went to the organization and gave them an opportunity to share their crafts and goods.
I've enjoyed seeing people that I don't normally see on a daily basis, just getting to visit with the town and all of the people that we've known for years.
And I love seeing how talented and creative people that I had no idea were this talented and creative, that the things that they put out.
Both gyms were set up with vendors. Former President Trump is criticizing the Justice Department after news that the Attorney General has appointed a special counsel to lead the criminal investigations now surrounding him. The move comes days after Trump announced his 2024 presidential bid, and it's intended to separate politics from the ongoing investigations. CBS's Bradley Blackburn has more.
Jack Smith is the veteran prosecutor who will now take charge of the Justice Department's investigations into former President Donald Trump. Attorney General Merrick Garland said the appointment is the best choice now that Trump has announced his third bid for the White House and President Biden has said he intends to run.
The Department of Justice has long recognized that in certain extraordinary cases, it is in the public interest to appoint a special prosecutor to independently manage an investigation and prosecution.
Smith takes the lead on the investigation into Trump's handling of classified documents at Mar-a-Lago, as well as separate probes into January 6th and efforts to overturn the 2020 election. In a statement, he said he intends to conduct the investigations independently, adding the pace will not pause or flag under his watch.
This decision takes a lot of the politics out of it. He's appointed a long-time career prosecutor, highly respected, very experienced.
This horrendous abuse of power is the latest in a long series of witch hunts.
Speaking at Mar-a-Lago Friday night, Trump called it rigged and said it will not be a fair investigation.
That's all they can think about. That's all they have in their mind is come after Trump. We got to get Trump. They say they want to run against me, but they're spending fortunes. Let's take him out.
We are not involved.
The White House stressed they do not politicize the Department of Justice and said President Biden was not informed or aware of the appointment of a special counsel. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
The special counsel is set to start work immediately. And separately, House Republicans promised their own investigation into the Biden administration and the president's son, Hunter Biden. They say it will start when they take control of the House next year. And we now take time to honor one of our four-state heroes. Leon Crooks, a Parson, Kansas native, served in the Army during World War II. He earned a Bronze Star, an Army Occupation Medal, and the World War II Victory Medal. To Sergeant First Class Leon Crooks, we thank you, our four-state hero. And coming up, Americans are skipping life-saving cancer screenings. Home births are up to a 30-year high, and many Americans are skipping potentially life-saving cancer screenings. Naomi Ruckham has a look at this week's top health stories.
A new report from the American Lung Association shows only 5.8% of Americans who are eligible for lung cancer screenings are getting the potentially life-saving tests. Researchers say nearly 237,000 people in the U.S. will be diagnosed this year. Health experts say the chances of surviving lung cancer increase if it's caught early. The number of women giving birth at home is up to the highest level in 30 years, with nearly 52,000 home births last year. New CDC data shows home births increased 22% from 2019 to 2020 and an additional 12% the year after. While non-Hispanic white women account for the majority of home births, the largest increases are with black women. And more young children have been unintentionally ingesting the cough suppressant benzonatate. A new study published in the journal Pediatrics identified more than 3,700 single-time exposures reported to poison control centers. Of those, 77% were accidental ingestions, mostly for children 5 years old and younger. Children ages 10 to 16 were more likely to misuse or even abuse the cough suppressant. That's a look at some of the week's top health stories. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News, New York.
A little later, we take a look at Pitt State's first playoff game in 8 years.
But first, we had a very cold start to the morning. Hey, Jalen, how you doing over there? It's a beautiful day. It was a very cold start to the day, though. We did warm up. We'll talk about a bigger warm up on the way coming up. As we mentioned, we had a very cold start to the day this morning, but we did actually warm up a bit, and it was a lot warmer than what we saw the last couple of days. Take a look at the last roughly 36 hours of temperatures. As you can see on Friday, 30 degrees is as good as we could do. Got that back down to about 19 officially in Joplin, and we made it up to 41 degrees today. So we did get a bit warmer today, and we're going to get a little bit warmer tomorrow, but we still have another cold night to get through. 7th range line looking pretty good so far. 32 in Joplin, clear skies, even with a light northwest breeze. Feels like 24 out there, so another cold one on tap for us. We got 31 Chanute, Parsons, 32 Oswego, Pittsburgh, 30 Lamar and Carthage. We got 36 in Neosho, so they're a pinch warmer down there, but you factor in that light breeze, and it feels a little bit colder. Say 21 in Iola, feels like 27 in Parsons, 28 Chautauqua and Commerce, and feels like 27 in Neosho. So even though they're a bit warmer, they feel just as cold as the rest of us. Now, as we go through the rest of the night, we'll still have the clear skies, and we'll have clear skies heading into tomorrow. tomorrow, we're going to head for a low of 22. So by the time you start to wake up, another cold start, about 23 degrees at 7 a.m. Skywatch Storm Tracker, I know what it thinks it's showing, but this is not actually happening. There are no flurries in Cherokee County right now. If we zoom out and show the rest of the area, you can see most of the activity staying off to the northeast, and that's where they've been dealing with just the absolutely incredible snowfall. Thankfully, unless you really like the snow, we don't have to worry about any major snowfall down here. So far, we've been pretty lucky. Going through tomorrow, we will stay clear, so we're going to see a lot more sunshine. That'll help us out a bit. Again, starting the day a little bit cold, 43 by noon, 33 by 5, because as the sun starts to go down, it will get chilly fast. But we're heading for a high of 45 degrees, so a little bit warmer. As we go through the week ahead, it's going to continue to be warmer. This is by Wednesday. Look at these highs. A little bit better, a little bit above average actually, but nicer than what we have seen. However, heading into Thanksgiving, we're looking at the possibility of some scattered showers across the region. So we're not talking a complete rain out necessarily, but we are talking about the possibility of some rain showers heading into Thanksgiving. As we head into Black Friday, we start to clear out, believe it or not, and we still stay warm. And so that's kind of the crazy part. We're looking at 51 on Monday, 56 by Tuesday, 58 on Wednesday. Clouds start building in. We've got some rain chances Thursday, and we'll hold on to some rain chances Friday as well for part of your Black Friday, and then they'll start to clear out by about midday. We get up to 52 degrees, and look at next Saturday, 59. So Monday is going to be the closest to average day we're going to have, and then we're going to go above average for a little while, but just in time for the holiday weekend, or the holiday week for some folks at least, because not too bad out there in all things, considered.
Yeah, I'm looking at that Thursday. We've got, chance of rain. It's going to be cool. Perfect fall weather, it seems like.
Yeah, and again, this is a bit more where we're supposed to be this time of year. And with the incoming rain chances, we need every bit of precipitation we can get. As you know, this past summer, that drought has been brutal. And we're still not out of the woods with that yet.
Absolutely.
It's going to take some time before we actually start to see some improvements on that. So any rain we can get, we'll take, and we've got at least a little bit in the forecast down the road.
Fingers cross-eyed. Thank you, Chris. Still ahead, Carthage, Seneca, and Lamar hit the field today in the Missouri High School State quarterfinals. And the Pittsburgh State Gorillas open the Division II playoffs at home against Indianapolis. Jacob Leonard has those highlights and more next.
The Pittsburgh State Gorillas are back in the Division II National Playoffs for the first time since 2014. Now, the Gorillas have a home game to begin the postseason, hosting the University of Indianapolis in round 1 today. Now, these two, both ranked in the top 15 nationally. The Gorillas are number 4. Indy is 13. Now, Indy won the toss and deferred. Opening kick, the MIAA Freshman of the Year, Colby Katzis, on the return. Finds a hole, and look at this. Katzis, 98 yards to the house. Not a bad start. Gorillas go up 7-0. Then first Indy possession. Pittsburgh State forces a turnover. Michael Lacey gets the interception. The Gorillas would capitalize. Caleb Lewis, 3-yard rushing touchdown here. Puts PSU up 14-0. They would keep rolling. Second quarter. They got 4th and goal from the 3. Chad Dotson Jr. to Devin Garrison. Back in the end zone. That makes it 21-0. The defense, really dominant first half. Alex Gaskill, the Webb City kid, forces the fumble here. Luke Jennings there for the recovery. Later, not a great pass here, but non-all-MIAA selection Antoine Nunn Jr. there for the pick. He would take this one back to the 10. And that sets up this. Dotson going back over to Garrison. This is Garrison's second touchdown of the afternoon. Pitt State in control. They're up 28-0 at the half. Now the defense never really let up. In the third, Indy threatening on the 3-yard line, but Brandon Malikas makes a play in the end zone for the interception. Then in the fourth, Antoine Nunn Jr. back again. He gets the pick. And this one will go all the way down the sideline into the end zone for the pick 6. Gorillas force 6 turnovers today. They get the playoffs, and this was their second biggest win of the season. Gorillas shut out Indy to open the playoffs 35-0.
Defense was really lights out today. Stopping the run and getting the ball back for us, I thought was just obviously huge. Big part of that football game, and And the offense there early on in that game capitalized and allowed us to get up and really stay on these guys and really control the football game from start to finish. So proud of our guys, proud of how they worked, proud of how they prepared, and we're excited to move on.
At the high school level, the Carthage Tigers are back in the Class 5 state quarterfinals. The Tigers hit the road to face Lebanon this afternoon, aiming to advance to the Final Four in the state bracket. The Carthage 10-1 coming into this one, and they've won 8 straight games. Second Tigers possession, Cooper Jadwin on the keeper. Goes up the middle, then bounces left, races in for the touchdown. Tigers up 7-0. Now tied at 7, second quarter, Jadison Davis-Maxey on the sweep. Gets by a few defenders. That's a first down for Carthage, and it sets up a Luke Gall touchdown. So the Tigers go back up 14-7 at half. In the third quarter, Lebanon punting, Mason Freisinger slices through for the block. Tigers in business, and Gall would make it count on the very next play. 158 yards, 2 touchdowns for the senior running back. Carthage wins 35-14 to advance to the state semifinals. In Class 2, the Lamar Tigers, they're where they normally are this time of the year. Lamar on the road today against the Holden Eagles in the state quarterfinals, and they didn't play around today. Tigers win it 54-0. Lamar now 11-1, moving on to the state semifinals next week. Well, staying in the Class 2 state bracket, the Seneca Indians are in the state quarterfinals for the second straight season. Seneca gets to play at home this afternoon, hosting Liberty Mountain View. Now, this one is a tough one for the Indians. The Eagles enter the quarterfinals with a perfect 11-0 record. Gavin Hoover, Seneca's first possession here, hits Hagen Ginger in stride. He's got the defender beat. 38-yard touchdown. Indians strike first. It's 7-0 later. After a blocked punt, Jackson Mars punches it in from a few yards out. Indians lead the Eagles 14-0 at the break. In the third, they add to their lead. It's Mars again working through traffic in for the score. At that point, it's 21-0. Liberty gets on the board, but Seneca keeps rolling. Mars again battles his way into the end zone for his third touchdown of the day. Seneca takes down Liberty to advance to the Final Four, 28-14 the final.
Credit our kids for coming out with energy, and yeah, that's an explosive offense that has a lot of good athletes, and I think the big thing is our kids' effort. I think we had 11 kids running the football, playing extremely hard all day long. I think it's huge for the momentum of the program, and credit last year's group for getting us to this game, and so this wasn't the first time we'd experienced it, and credit our kids for carrying that momentum over to the offseason, and once we come back here, finding the way to win today.
Well, tonight is the second and final night of the Pitt State Classic. Both Pitt State and Missouri Southern are on the floor tonight in Pittsburgh. Now the Lions are up first. They're actually on the floor right now facing Quincy. Southern is up 10, 39-29 at the break. Avery Taggart has a team-high 10 points for the Lions. Now when they finish that one up, Pitt State will hit the floor against Illinois Springfield. That one is scheduled for about 7:30. The Gorillas are trying for their first home win of the season after falling to Quincy last night. Pittsburgh State women are in action in Topeka today, facing Southern Nazarene. The Gorillas trying to get to 4-0 to start the season. Pitt State, though, suffers their first loss 64-51. Freshman Harper Schreiner leads the way for Pitt State with 20 points. So Carthage moving on, Pitt State moving on, Lamar and Seneca both moving on. Now we get a big rematch. Lamar and Seneca square off in the state semifinals next week. So can't wait for that.
Yeah, I talked to somebody before the season started, asked them about the Seneca Indians. I was like, how do you think they're going to do? They're like, they'll win like 6 games or so.
It's a tough group of kids.
And then to see them, in the semifinals, I'm like, you might want to rethink that one next time around. Well, that's awesome for them. All right, well, that's it for sports. We'll be back with more after the break. Man, Chris, the temperatures we've had lately, freezing.
Yeah, below freezing in some cases, actually, Jalen. It's been downright cold across the area, but there's some good news. We got some warmer weather on the way. It'll be 45 tomorrow, and we'll see the sunshine. See it again on Monday, 51. So you can see we get close to 60 degrees this week by Wednesday. We got some rain chances on Thanksgiving and the first half of your Black Friday, and it'll be 52 then, 55 on Thanksgiving. And then look at Saturday, 59 degrees. So we go from, once again, that thing of we're well below average to above average, but this time around we're not well above average like we have been lately. So we're trying to balance things out progressively.
Yeah, so I'm looking at that forecast. I fly out of Joplin to head back home to Illinois on Wednesday, so I'm happy to see those rain chances are holding off. Because I'm not a fan of heights, and I don't want no rain or
you
thunder
don't
or
need
anything.
turbulence or anything like that.
None of that.
I understand.
Well, I know basketball season is here, but we still got a lot of football going on in the 4 states. What do you have for us?
Listen, man, the MIAA kind of flexed its muscles today, right? Pitt State beat UIndy 35-0, and Northwest beat Ouachita. I think it was 43-13. Northwest is going to go face the number 1 seed Grand Valley State next week. Pitt State will be on the road against Ferris State now, hoping both of those win. If that happens, we get another MIAA match.
I had a debate with a former teammate about the best conference in all of Division II football.
A debate?
And it just so happens to be that those 4 teams were mentioned in there. So I'm not going to say I got money on them, but, pride. Well, that's our time for now. We'll see you right back here at 10 o'clock.